Outfield preview part 2. Let's focus on the mid to late rounds. Up next on Fantasy Baseball to Date in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5. Today is Thursday, February 16th. I am Frank Sanford, joined by Scott White, and let's do sleepers, breakouts, and busts at the outfield position. Scott, give me 2 of your favorite sleepers.
2 of my favorite sleepers. I'm going pretty low end with this group. 2 players drafted right around 300 overall, which means maybe not at all in your league. But Oscar Colas is somebody I'm definitely going to take earlier than that. He is kind of the guy I'm penciling in for my 5th outfielder spot in a 5 outfielder league, such a standard roto. I do think he's going to win the right field job for the White Sox this spring. We'll see how it ultimately goes. But they've pretty much left it open for him. And this is a prospect that's been talked up on the international scene for a few years now. He's Cuban. He went to Japan and played there. Then he took 2 years off before joining the White Sox system last year. There was a little bit of rust early on, understandably, but his final numbers after kind of picking it up mid-season were very impressive. 314 batting average, 23 home runs, and 895 OPS in 117 games. And like I said, he's traveled the world. He's experienced some things. I don't think the stage is going to be too big for him, and the opportunities there for Oscar Colas. I also still like Alex Kirilloff of the Twins, who for the brief stretches he's been healthy the past couple years, the StatCast readings were off the charts. Hasn't been healthy very much. The wrist that dates back to his minor league days, it was bothering him that whole time. Last year in August, he finally had a procedure to address it. Hopefully once and for all, shorten the bone in the wrist. Even last year at AAA when he wasn't hurt, 359 with an 1106 OPS. There's still a lot to like for Kirilloff, who appears likely to claim the first base job for the Twins.
I've got 2 names here as sleepers that I like. Taylor Ward, I think he's more so undervalued. Got off to a ridiculous start last year, then completely fell off in May after running into the wall. Was dealing with a stinger in his neck and shoulder, but then he bounced back. Final 31 games, he hit 345 with 6 homers and a 13.7% barrel rate. So hitting in the top half of the Angels lineup, I do like Taylor Ward quite a bit. The other name is Jesse Winker, who was awful last year, no doubt about it, but he is 1 year removed from batting .305 with a .949 OPS with the Cincinnati Reds, and he was playing through injury last year, like he always is, but he had surgery in the offseason, entering a contract year, new ballpark, playing in Milwaukee, a favorable one. I think Jesse Winker could get back on track. Scott, give me 2 breakouts you like in the outfield.
One is Bryan De La Cruz, Marlins outfielder, who spent some time in the minors in the second half last year, came back, hit 388 with 6 home runs in September. But beyond that, his full season expected stats, according to StatCast, 287 XBA, 498 X slug. Both of those are better than Rafael Devers' XBA and X slug last year. So the skills are there for De La Cruz. And Lars Nootbaar, this is a fun stat for him. The complete list of batters in the top 15% for average exit velocity, max exit velocity, barrel rate, and walk rate last year. Aaron Judge, Yordan Alvarez, Kyle Schwarber, Giancarlo Stanton, and Lars Nootbaar.
Love it.
Does a lot of things right.
Don't have to say more, Scott, because I love Lars Nootbaar as well. A few breakouts for me. You spoke about Oscar C. I like Oscar G. Oscar Gonzalez with the Guardians makes a lot of contact. He hits the ball hard. Actually is really fast. He's got all these tools, and he makes contact. So I think that there's a real reason we see a real possibility that we see a breakout year from Oscar Gonzalez. Good power, maybe chip in a couple of steals as well. Riley Green, it's kind of a post-hype breakout here for the Tigers. Disappointing in his rookie season. He fractured his foot on April 2nd, did not make his debut until mid-June, so just kind of threw his rookie season for a loop. But the dimensions in Comerica Park have been altered. Center field and right field are coming in. That's something that should help Riley Green. And he still hit the ball hard last year, so I'm looking for him to capitalize on that prospect pedigree and get back on track. How about the bust, Scotty? 2 outfielders that you are looking to avoid this season.
Yeah, 2 high-end ones. Adolis Garcia of the Rangers comes down to this. The plate discipline is awful. And he's much older than you think he is. He's going to be 30 this year. So it's not like he's a long-term building block for the Rangers. I think that leaves him with a thin margin for error. Just a little bit of slippage in that already bad on-base percentage. And I don't know that his job security is necessarily airtight. Starling Marte, I also have as a bust. His stolen base total plummeted last year. And of course, stolen bases are the main thing that's made him a fantasy standout over the years. He's in his mid-30s now. He's always been injury prone. That's only going to be more so at this age. And I think last year was possibly the beginning of the end for Starling Marte.
Two outfielders that I'm looking to fade this year, Byron Buxton and Tyler O'Neill. And if you want to find out why, you can listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Audacy app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.